Hello, 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 hello. Perfect. Mhm. Let's solve this DLR. Mm, Agenda is to solve two DLR sets. Okay, let's go with this one first. In a library, a certain number of books were borrowed by its members during the month of November. The following table provides details regarding the number of books borrowed on different days in the month of November. Okay, number of books borrowed, at least one, two, two, number of days, 30 days. And okay, on how many days during the month of November were exactly 7 books borrowed? Okay, November is 30 days, right? So in a library, certain number of books were borrowed by its members during the month of November. The following table provides details regarding the number of books borrowed on different days in the month of November. What number of days? At most six, at least six. At most, at least, at most, at least. What is this? Hmm. In a library, number of books. Just checking the live thing. Hmm. Okay. In a library, a certain, so I should have taken some easy set. This is the volume now. I just increase the volume setting. Let me check it by myself. Is it live? I don't know. Why I'm not able to see? Yeah, it is live. Why I'm not able to see? Yeah, it is live. Let's go back to the study. At least one. No, it's at least most two. So at least one, at most two, at most two. Right. At least one is minimum one. Right. At most maximum two. So in this, how many? How many books? The at least 30 days and at most. Is it making any sense? I don't know. I didn't study this inequality. What's making sense? What it is there? What is this? What is this? At least one, at most two. That is in a certain day borrowed um, a minimum of one book and a maximum of two. Minimum of one book for 30 days. Right. A maximum of two books for 10 days. At least two. A minimum of 2 days. Two books. 24 days. I'm sorry. It's not making any sense to me. What is this? In a library, a certain number of books were borrowed by its members during the month of November. The following table provides details regarding the number of books borrowed on different days in the month of November. Okay. Which day this happened? Which day this happened? Okay. That means November has 30 days, right? So in every day, at least one book is borrowed. Okay. Now I got it. So at least and a maximum at most of 10 books. in all this 30 days. So maximum 10 books borrowed. And a minimum of one book per day, right? Over to it. One book per day. Maximum 10 book per day. So what's the question? On how many days during the month of November were exactly 7 books borrowed? So do we have any data for that? No, we don't have. So 7 books. What kind of table I can make? What kind of table I will make for this? At least 10 books. Okay, so 10 books. I think we can put in somewhere 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. So this happened at least 10, at most at least one day 10 books borrowed. Okay. Eight books. At least 8 books, 5 days. At most 8 books, 29 days. What do you mean by that? A maximum of 8 books, 29 days now. Okay. A minimum of 8 books, 5 days. Most no, at least 10. Still it's confusing. Solve this. Let's solve this one. At least one book 30 days. At least. Okay, one minimum 30 days. Okay. And two, at most max. What is this? At most two. What is this? What is this? What is this? Hmm. Hmm. Badly want some help. I don't know how to go with this. Mm, In a library, a certain number of books were borrowed by its member during the month of November. What is? The following table provides details regarding the number of books borrowed on different days. Number of books borrowed on different days in the month of November. Mhm. Shall I go through the questions? How many of the following statements are true regarding the number of books borrowed during the month of November? The number of days on which exactly 3 books were borrowed is greater than the number of days. So I have to solve this, then only be able to say anything about this. Hmm. Number of books. On how many days during the month of November exactly 7 books borrowed? If each book at least at most. There is no other option. What is mean by at least and at most? At least means a minimum value, while at most means a maximum value. At least indicates a lower bound, meaning the value can be that number or any higher number. At most indicates an upper bound, meaning the value can be. Okay. Can I make any same kind of some different table? Okay, let's put 2. Okay, and maximum. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. At least minimum 30 days, right? That way, what is this? These are books. One book, a minimum 30 days. These are days. Now, 2, at least 24. A minimum of 24 days and a maximum of 10 days. I don't know what it means. 3. You don't have any idea. 4. 4 for at least 18. At most 16. So at least a minimum of 18 and a maximum of 16. That means, huh? This will be 5, 5, 5, 5. six, six at least eight, at most 24, seven, no, yeah, eight, eight, at least five, at most 29, nine, 11, 10, at least one, at most 30. What is this? So there are one book, a minimum of 30 days borrowed. Number 10, 10 books. Okay, this 30 minimum means every day a minimum of one. Okay, one day minimum of 10 books. 30 day a 30 day max. 30 day maximum of 10 books borrowed. Mhm. Skip. I don't. Maybe I'll try next time. Try next time. Next time. Learn inequality. Let me go to this. This that. What is starting? Newer Group, a conglomerate, comprises 5 companies, PQRS and T. 4 persons, 5 companies. Here is were made the head of some of these 5 companies from 2012 to 16. Each of the 4 persons headed exactly one of the 5 companies during each year, and no person headed the same company for more than 1 year. No company was headed by more than 1 person in any year. Further, it is known that okay. Let me go with blue. 5 companies with 4 persons. They are the head of these 5 companies from 12 to 16. That is 4 years. Each of 4 persons had X. I got a message. I don't know. What's the next? Each of the four persons headed exactly one of the five companies during each year, and no person headed the same company for more than one. Okay. When A was made the head of a company in any year, the revenue of the company increases by at least 10% as compared to the previous year. When B was made the head of a company in any year, the revenue of the company decreased by. Okay, what is this graph? Okay, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. PQRST. Okay, this is the company. Okay, when A was made the head of a company in any year, the revenue of the company increased by at least 10% as compared to the previous year. So this was not the case. 15 minus 15 to 6%. No. 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 When C was made the head of a company in any year, the revenue of the company increases. When D was made the head of the company in any year, the revenue of the company decreased by. Increase in the revenue of each of the companies for to so let's make a company PQRS QRST, right? And head A, B, A, B, C, and D. C and D. Now, which year? 2012, 13, 14, 15, 16. 12, 13, 14, 15. 16. So company P. So P has to be headed and this 5 year. Oh, ah, let's hmm, what A are we talking about? A. When A was made the head of a company in any year, the revenue of the company increased by at least 10% as compared to the previous year. Hmm. Revenue of the company. So 20%, then went to minus 15%, then to 6%. That's an increase of how much? 21%. Then to minus 13, then to 11%. That's an increase of 24%. 24. A can't be in this place. Never with R. And never with R. Mhm. Hmm. That's 28%. Okay, 19%. He was made the head of a company in any year. The revenue of the company decreased by at least 10% as compared to the previous year. 10% decrease. It can be here. We can be here. Mm, we can be here also. We can be here also. We can be here. At least 5%. D was made of the head of the company. The revenue of the company decreased. Hmm. Um, I don't know how to solve this also. This was the last two sets. This I could have, yeah, this I solved it. These two, I don't know whether no, I couldn't solve this also. Um, Let me give some more time. Maybe 10 more minutes taken. Okay. Otherwise, I will end this live. When he was made the head of company. Skip. Oh, we'll try tomorrow. That is the only option. There's also, I don't know how to solve. Okay, thank you.